What's going on, everybody? Triple Crown 24 back today on a Sunday with a card show recap. This is from Louisville, Kentucky. That's my first time I have ever actually been to Louisville, Kentucky, and didn't really get to see the city much. I was kind of on the outskirts at this card show. First time this card show has been at this particular location, and I thought it was really well run. Fantastic location, good setup overall, and there's a lot more potential for it to grow. So excited to go back in the future. I will definitely make sure to go back. Overall, I did a lot more selling than buying, which has kind of been the trend lately. I really didn't see too many deals, kind of similar to, I think it was the last recap I did in Newport or the Northern Kentucky show, where I couldn't find that many deals and I had a lot of traffic at the table. So I kind of went there to make some deals and do a lot more selling just because that's where the show kind of led me. But I did pick up some stuff, of course, and made a lot of sales, which was fantastic. So let me show you what I picked up, and then I've got a little bit of mail that I'll show at the end. This first stack here was this this was a pretty good stack. So I paid $10 for all of the cards in this stack, and I was pretty happy with that. So these are just ones that have soft sleeves on. I got an Illusions Luca from this year. Tatis Score Rookie, this was 50 cents. And then I got some relics and autographs they were all in the 50-cent box. I do have a use for them, so anytime I can see a relic or an autograph that's somewhat newer, doesn't really matter who the player is, I will go ahead and pick it up because I have something that I use those for inventory purposes. So it's always cool to find those. They're more difficult to find than you would think, to find the 50-cent relics, or maybe I'm just not looking hard enough. But I also got some mosaic color. You can see I got some Kareems and Vince Carter, the Joker. So very cool on that little stack. Picked up Eric Strickland autograph as well. That was in the 50-cent box. This was in the 50-cent box as well. It's a Costas Blue Velocity. I thought, no, that's a no-brainer on that one. This Will Greer number /40. This was also in the 50-cent box, so I had to go ahead and pick that up. Shout out to Beans Ball Card Blog. No, he's a big WVU fan. That's where Will Greer played. This one, these last two here were in the dollar box, and I think so. What I was told is basically I was having a conversation with the dealer. He does have a YouTube channel. I can't remember the name of it, but he's a large channel. I think he's got like 7,000 subscribers or something. So his girlfriend, wife, fiance, I'm sure one of those things, was there, and I was just talking to them for a little bit. And he's helping another customer, and she's telling me, "Have you looked at this box yet?" And she says, "There's some good stuff in there." I guess this guy kind of just puts in little Easter eggs to his dollar boxes to see who's paying attention. So I found two of the Easter eggs in there. This LeBron mosaic base card for $1. These are very difficult to find for $1. So that was kind of a steal. And perhaps even more so was this Ja Morant, which is really sharp. This will be going in my next PSA group submission after looking it over. So that was a no-brainer to pick that up. So two nice little finds. And I mean, overall, this whole stack here, I think the Luca was $1, and the rest of these were 50 cents aside from LeBron and Ja Morant. So I thought that was a nice little stack for $10. A little variety with that stack as well. And then after that, I really only made two other purchases, which is kind of strange for me. I like to do a lot of buying, and there just was not many deals there. And a lot of the people who I see set up at a lot of different shows, who were at this one, they kind of had the same thing, where they're telling me there just wasn't really too much stuff there. But from what I was told and from what I observed, there was a lot of people spending money. So it's kind of conflicting reports there, but I know what my experience was. This one was $5, and it was a Ronald Acuna Jr. Blue Refractor from 2020 Finest. It's a good looking card. I always like the blue refractors. I love Finest cards as well. And then this one was actually something that I picked up with someone coming to my table. There was a lot of wheeler and dealers there who were trying to sell. So I got to kind of have stuff brought to me. Usually those aren't the best deals. When I get approached to buy stuff at shows, sometimes it's you get lucky and it's someone who's just trying to unload a bunch of stuff and make a few quick bucks to go spend somewhere else, or they just want to dump some stuff off in person, not have to worry about shipping or eBay fees or any of that. Uh, so it kind of just depends sometimes, but I thought this was a very fair price, and I do really like these cards. This is from Chronicles. It's the Flux rookie of Ja Morant, so I paid $15 for this one, and it looks pretty nice. So that one will also be in the next submission. It's cool to pick that one up. And then I made a trade for this Trae Young. This one will not be sent off, but it's a really cool card. I gave up a PJ Washington rookie for it, so had to make that deal. And then the last one was a deal where I had previously purchased 2 rookie boxes from shows that I had gone to or collections that I had bought, and I kind of picked out some of the stuff that I wanted to keep, and then I combined the two and just put in a few good cards to add to the value of it, make sure that it was a good enough value to then move it to someone else. So I put that out for $100 for a 3,200 count box of rookies. So if you divide that out, it's about 2 to 3 cents a card, which I thought was a pretty fair price. Some of the rookies in there were some of the 2020 ones. I think I put a couple of Kyle Lewis rookies in there, and overall, I thought it was going to move pretty quickly. I did get some interest, but I ended up making a trade for it for 2 cards. So I got this Raleigh Fingers 76 tops and a near mint 8, which is kind of it's a registry card in certain registries, and there's not too many of this card graded that are listed for sale. So sometimes I wouldn't necessarily call this a low pop card, but what I'd call a low availability card. I think pop reports, they can be deceiving sometimes. I don't know if it's really a true estimate of how many are out there. It's more so how many of them are actually for sale and available. So whenever I see slabs like this, they get my attention. There were a few more on the table, but a lot of them had plenty of competition out there. In terms of on the secondary market, I could find several other slabs, so I decided not to go for those. But that one was one that I wanted. And then this was kind of the centerpiece of the trade. It's a Archive Signature Series, John Smoltz, Allen and Ginter autograph. Shout out to Mike O. I know that the Ginter autographs usually do pretty well on the secondary market out of Archives Signature Series, including this Smoltz right here. So I know that will end up in a collection probably sooner rather than later. Some of these cards can be very highly in demand, but these are always cool. I love picking up the Archives cards when I can. So I thought it was a fair trade for both sides. I believe that the dealer who I made the trade with was on Sport Lots, which is a good place. I would say it's that the box that I was selling is absolutely perfect for someone who sells on Sport Lots. I used to, but it's for the amount of time that I have, just with everything else that I've got going on. I just really can't commit any extra time to do Sport Lots on top of eBay, the PSA group, the Facebook groups, going on Blowout, going on different forums, all that kind of stuff. So if I did, then I probably wouldn't have made that deal today, yesterday. But sometimes you just gotta kind of give up a little bit more to cash in a little bit. So that was my little stack there. A couple of pieces of mail really quick. This is perhaps a very underrated pickup for my super collection. I picked up 3 of the Topps Blacks from my Topps Black run. Now, one of them I know is not black. That would be the middle one there, the 2007. That is because the design itself has black borders, so they had to go with a copper that takes place of the black. But this one on the left, the 06, is numbered to 55. The copper is out of 56, and then the 2008 is out of 57. So These are a lot tougher than you might think. They usually command a pretty high premium, and I think I paid like $60 to ship to get these all shipped to me. So that to me was a kind of a steal of a deal, just because they are pretty rare. So that gets me a little bit closer to the Topps Black Run. I'm about halfway there now, I want to say, and I don't think that I'll finish it by the end of the year like I had initially attempted, but it is what it is. Sometimes you got to be patient and play the long game. And then this was a deal I made in a Facebook group. I've been picking up more and more, or at least looking to pick up more and more little lots like this. This was a Gavin Lux lot, and I paid a lot less than I would to submit 3 Gavin Lux rookies on my own to get these 3 PSA 9s from 2020 Topps. Now, Lux hasn't had the 2020 season that I'm sure everybody was expecting. We're kind of been in a mindset now in the hobby, and I say we just as a general hobby. That doesn't necessarily mean everyone thinks that way. It just means that I've noticed it as a trend in the hobby is that if you don't get off to a super hot start, like an Acuna, a Soto, or a Judge when they all first came into the league, then your prices drop, and a lot of people start looking away, which I think is kind of crazy. I mean, Gavin Lux he's actually born right around the same time I was. That's kind of crazy. So Gavin Lux, he is 22 years old. He'll turn 23 heading into the 2021 season. Still has plenty of time left. And for the price of these, to get them for less than the cost that it would be to grade them, I think that's kind of a no-brainer to pick them up and just wait and see. I'm sure at some point Gavin Lux is going to have a stretch where he gets really hot, and these are going to be worth more than what I paid. So if people are willing to take the time to slab them and then dump their 9s for cheap, I will gladly pick up their 9s, because the market on 9s right now is actually starting to heat up. I think a lot of people are moving more towards that mindset of buy the card, not the grade. And on these right here, I'm sure that there's something here where I could look at them and say, oh, that's probably why I got a 9. But there's nothing that jumps out right away where I would say, yeah, that's definitely why it's a 9, just looking at them here. So I bought the card and the grade, but I bought the grade in the way that made sense for me, I guess. So that is it for me today. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will be back later in the week with some more content, but until then, stay safe and have a good one.